Hey G-Fans, GoGFan93 here. Welcome to another figure review. In this review we will be talking about the infamous 1984 NECA figure, or as it says on the box, 1985. If you guys did see my unboxing video of this figure that I did yesterday, you guys can kind of tell that this will be sort of a negative review. This is actually going to be probably my first ever negative review because every other figure I've reviewed I've actually liked, and this is kind of a first. So yeah, a few things that I want to state before I get on with this review. I know that there are a lot of you guys who do like this figure, and that's perfectly fine, alright? If you like this figure, that's fine. I know it's affordable, I know it's easy to find, there's not many 84 figures out there, there's not many 84 figures that you can find for a good price. I get that, okay? But I need you guys to understand this, alright? I am a die-hard 84 fan. This is my favorite suit of all time. Godzilla 1984 is my favorite movie from the Godzilla franchise. I am super passionate about this Godzilla, okay? So, hopefully you guys can take that and understand why I'm a little bit disappointed with this figure. Now, another thing is, if you guys respect my opinion, I'll respect yours in the comments. So I don't want to see any flame wars going on between, oh, NECA this, and why are you not saying this, or everyone's bad-mouthing NECA, alright? Because if you say that I'm bad-mouthing NECA, you're wrong. Because I think NECA did a fantastic job with the 1994 figure, okay? So, with that said, okay, let's begin the review. So, alright, also what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some pictures and I'm going to put it up during the video so you guys can get a better idea of the figure, because I don't want to keep on bringing it close to the camera like this because my camera takes forever to focus. So, here we go. This is the NECA 1984 figure, and yes, I say 84 because this is 84. I don't know why they say 1985. That's just giving people the wrong information. This was 84, okay? This movie came out in 1984, therefore it's 84. That's one of my first little gripes with this, but that's a little nitpick, okay? Anyways, so I'm still trying to get used to doing these kind of reviews with me behind the camera like this. So anyways, we'll start off with the sculpt. Now, in my opinion, the sculpt is very lackluster, okay? Now, I watched other reviews recently, and one thing that one of the reviewers said was that this actually looks more like the Cybot. The way that the figure looks, it looks more like the animatronic that they use in the movie rather than the actual suit. And that makes me a little bit disappointed because the suit does look better than the animatronic did. You know, but I just don't think it translated well with the figure in doing the Cybot or the Godzilla bot or whatever they call it. So, yeah, let's start with the head. So, the head, you know, I guess if I were to really look at it, the head is probably the best part of the figure. But I still have my gripes with it. It still looks very weird. It looks very derpy. And also I do know that 1984 had some derpy looks. I do understand that. But when you're making a figure of him, take the best features of the suit. Take the best look, because when the 1984 figure, or no, not the figure, but when the suit had a really good like image, like when it looked really, really badass and ferocious, it looked really good. It didn't look derpy. So take that. Don't take the derpiness and put it on a figure, okay? Alright, so anyway, so yeah, the head sculpt, you know, it just looks off to me. That's just my only problem with it. The jaw looks disconnected from his neck. If you see right here, you can see that the jaw just looks very disconnected. Until you open the mouth, then it looks connected. And it just looks really weird. Also, his head looks a little, I don't know, it just looks like a human head and then mixed with, like, you know, a snout and stuff. And it just looks weird. Okay, then we move on to the arms. The arms as well look kind of weird. It looks like Godzilla's actually wearing a suit on himself. It's like a Godzilla suit wearing a suit. The arms just look so weird. they did a horrible job with connecting it to the hands, because you can, I mean, it looks like he's wearing sleeves or something. It just doesn't look right. This whole flat surface right here, and then it's all bundled up right about his elbows. It literally looks like he just, you know, is wearing something and he just, you know, brought his sleeves up. Okay, the body, the torso here, I really don't have anything to complain about. The torso actually looks pretty alright. I don't really have a problem with the torso. It looks fine. Now we go down to the legs. This is the part that really bugs me about this figure too, which is proportion-wise. This really doesn't make any sense. He basically, big, thick hips, which he does. The Heisei Godzilla does have, you know, fat thighs, basically. But we have the fat thighs, and then we go down to very skinny legs right here. Goes very wide, and then skinny. That just doesn't look right. It does not look right at all. And when I get to comparing other figures, I'll show you guys what I mean. And then we go down to his feet. This is the thing that really bugs me about the feet. Okay, I guess, you know, the detail in the feet's fine. Well, the sculpt, well, we'll get to the detail, I guess, later. The thing that bugs me about this is the left foot, or the left foot looks fine in a way. The toenails are, I guess, you know, they're all right. But then we go over to the right foot, okay? And there is this huge toenail. It's so out of place, and it looks like Godzilla completely forgot to clip his toenails or something. I don't know how that got past, you know, their quality assurance or whatever, you know, but someone messed up. They're like, oh no, just let that go. So that really messes up the feet for me. Just does not look right. Okay, so move on to the side. Look at the side from him. So we have the body. Once again, it just looks odd. Just something about it just doesn't look right. And then we have the pitiful dorsal plates that are on him. This really bugs me here. These are longer, okay? They're supposed to be a little bit longer, okay? I looked at the movie and I looked at my X Plus figure. The spikes are way more longer than this. So this is really bugging me. Also, the way they're made, this little I don't know, rubberish kind of material is fine. It worked for the 94 figure, but this, look how freaking thin. Look how thin these are. Look how easily this could break off. If you're a kid that's playing with this, this is gonna break. Not well made with the dorsal plates. And then we have the tail. The tail is nothing special as well. You know, whatever. We have a couple dorsal plates here, and then they just kind of just quit right after that. It's like they were here and then they just gave up. So yeah. So the sculpt is just off. Everything about it is just off. There's nothing about the sculpt that I really like. Or that really reminds me of 84. Except for maybe the face with the eyes. The eyes is like the only thing maybe if you like just have it with the eyes. I don't know. But okay. So now we're going to go on to detail. Now, detail with the figure. This is at least one of the good parts, okay, about this figure, is that the detail is good. You know, we got the scales. We see each individual scale on the chest. The head has really good detail on it. We can see the eyes. The eyes have good detail in them. If you guys actually, one thing that I do like is if you look in the mouth, and I'll probably post a picture also of in the mouth, but if you look in the mouth, you can see really good detail on the roof of his mouth. It's really good. Also forgot to mention, my guy has a crooked mouth, so NECA really fixed that, okay? Don't mess that up for the 54 figure. So, the arms are the only thing that's kind of lacking in detail, I think. Not really, you know, a lot going on there. I don't really, you know, once again, it just looks like he's wearing sleeves, and it just looks so weird. The legs, there's good detail, you know, going along here, I guess. And then we go to the feet, and, you know, it's somewhat good detail there. His dorsal plates, once again, the detail on these are not spectacular. If you guys look here, I mean, it looks spotty. It looks rushed. The tail, once again, you know, just mediocre detail with that. Not the best. Not the best at all. So, detail is fine. Detail is probably the only good thing about this figure right now. Okay, paint job. So on to the paint. Once again, kind of a good thing at least. We got a once again standard Godzilla color scheme. Dark charcoal gray for the skin. We have, you know, the somewhat white, a little bit dimmed white for the dorsal plates. Instead of using silver, or well, not silver, but like a grayish tone for the nails, we actually have a yellow, or well, kind of like a yellow, but it's more like a tan yellow or something for his claws and his toenails and his teeth. His eyes do look somewhat alright with the paint. At least they didn't mess that up, I guess. That's one good thing. But yeah, paint is standard fare. There's nothing really, you know, I mean, it does look pretty good. Let's do the size and comparison. So this is actually a 6-inch figure, okay, normal 6-inch. It fits well with your Bandai and your other SH Monster Arts and your other NECA figures. But I'm gonna bring up his brother here, the NECA 94 figure. Now, first off, I want you guys to just look, okay? We have quality rushed. Quality rushed. If you guys just look, I want you guys to really look at this, okay? The way 94 looks is so much better. The way they did everything, the detail on him, the paint job, everything is not sloppy on the 94 figure. They did a really good job with it, but there's the comparison of them, alright? Now, here's what I also want to do, and this is what's sad. I'm going to compare this to the Godzilla 2000 Memorial Box Bandai figure, okay? Now, I don't know, well, exactly when this figure came out. Now, I know this is the 50th or Memorial Box, so this figure is like at least 10 years old, right? This figure is almost about 10 years old, but I don't even know when the original sculpt of this was released. This was actually probably around 2000 when the 2000 movie came out. So this is even older than 10 years. So you're telling me that NECA can't get their shit together with a modern figure like this, and yet Bandai can make something like this that's over 10 years old and make it look spectacular? I mean, look at the detail. Look at the accuracy with this figure. That's what's called taking care and focusing on what the suit really represents. So, anyways, also I'm going to post a picture of a comparison with the X Plus figure with this 84, because these are the only 84 figures I have. Once again, I know it's not fair to compare X Plus to NECA, but it's just to look at a resemblance of, you know, how well they did or how much they messed up. Alright, now we can move on to articulation. So, the articulation of this figure is not as much as I thought it was. Everything about this guy feels stiff, not as fluent as the Godzilla 1994 or the Godzilla 2014 figure from NECA. So yes, we have the movement of the head. You know, we can go all around. You know, it's good for stop motion, right? You look up, down, open his mouth, close his mouth. I prefer his mouth closed, just because it looks a little bit more ferocious. Then we can move his neck. His neck can move a little bit too, along, you know, because you have it right here, and then the middle of the neck can kind of move too. His arms can move like this. They can go out like that. They can go in, but it's still kind of stiff. His arms can move at the elbow, but not much. Not much. Sad thing is, they took out the feature where his hands can actually move. If we look back at the 94 figure, a much better, well-done figure, in my opinion. His hands, you know, you can make into a fist. You can bring them out. But no, this one they decided, nope, let's just make it a stock, static hand where, you know, that's it. Yeah, so the body can move, the torso has a little bit of movement right there. But the bad thing is that when you move him side to side, his dorsal plates are going to be rubbing up against each other. So be careful if you're going to do stop motion or playing with him if you're, you know, a kid or something. His feet have a little bit of movement. You can move them a little bit. I don't want to move him too much because I saw a review where a guy spun the leg and it popped off. I don't want to do that. His feet can move side to side like that. They can move a little bit up and down, not too much. And this leg can't even. This won't even move for me at all. His leg can move. I can't even, like. I'm really trying, but it's not even moving for me. So, very stiff with the legs, super stiff. The tail, once again, NECA's continuing with this dumb idea of having a wired tail. I just, I don't understand that. Just make it all articulated. So you only got this part that moves, and then and right about here, this part here is when it's just the wire. So I'm not going to bend it because I don't want it to break. So that's articulation. Not much with articulation actually for a NECA figure, which is surprising. Alright, final verdict. My final thoughts on this figure. Guys, I am disappointed. Alright, I am very disappointed. This is the first time I actually had a box day. It's the first time I actually got a figure that I'm not impressed with, that I'm not excited about, and that I'm not happy with. Now, I'm going to keep him, obviously, because, well, duh, it's 1984. It's nice to have an 84 figure, but I would much rather go out and pay for, like, the 50th Memorial Box Bandai figure and try to get the 25cm X Plus 84 figure, even though those figures are way expensive. But you know what? I'm going to save up for them, and then sooner or later I'm going to buy them, because this guy is just very disappointing in my opinion. This is coming from a hardcore 1984 fan, okay? I have always loved 1984. 1984 was the first Godzilla movie I ever saw, okay? So for me to say this, it hurts. It hurts a lot to say that I don't like this figure, because this is the first time we get a new 84 thing, and in my eyes, they messed up. They messed up big time. I think NECA needs to re-release this figure, and they need to scrap this whole suit, this whole thing here, and redo it from the ground up and get better quality for our money. And don't give me the excuse that just because it's $20 it's acceptable. Okay, that's bullcrap. Because I bet when this guy came out, the Bandai figures, they were like 12 bucks when they first came out. Yeah, these are now expensive, but I mean when they first released, most Bandai figures from Japan, when they first released, are like $12. The 2014 Godzilla that I got from Bandai Creation, that's $12. And that thing has way better quality than this. So don't give me that excuse just because it's $20 that it's, better, okay, or that it's acceptable to get away with something like this, okay? Don't give me that excuse. I hate that excuse when just because it's cheap, oh, let's give the kids something crappy, just because it's a toy, And yes, this is kind of a toy. It's also a collector. I consider NECA to be in the middle. You have your Bandais, which are meant for kids, but collectors, collect them. And then you have NECA, which is kind of in the middle. It's for kids, but also good for collectors. Then you have SH Monster Arts, which is kind of less for kids, more for collectors. And X Plus, which is completely for collectors and not for kids. So, just because you're making a toy that, is for ages, what, 14 or something up? I don't know, really. But don't give a shitty product just because, you have a young audience. That's not, don't insult their intelligence, Give them something like this. Give them this. This is a good Godzilla figure right here. This was quality, okay? I really like this figure. This guy, not as much. Not as much, especially if you're as much of a diehard 84 fan as I am. So anyways, so that's my review, guys. Sadly, this is my first negative review, but once again, guys, I will respect your opinion if you respect mine, and I don't want to see any flame wars going on in the comments, alright? Because I won't even respond. I'm not even going to deal with people getting all butthurt because I don't like this figure, alright? In fact, I have all the rights to be angry at this figure because I am a hardcore 84 fan, alright? So, don't complain to me if 84 is not your biggest, if it's not your favorite film, alright? So, that's my review. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, stay big, G fans.